So in this demo, just want to quickly demonstrate QGIS. So QGIS is sort of a desktop tool that you can run on Windows, Linux, Mac, and other OSs. In that, the way it's laid out with the toolbars, menus, panels like the browser over here, and layers on that. It's like a table of contents. If you're familiar with Arc Pro, this is like the catalog pane almost. This is like the contents pane for the map. In that, this is your main mapping area. Arc View, Arc Map use much like toolbars, much like QGIS does, whereas ArcGIS Pro uses a ribbon in that. So in this video, I just want to show this is QGIS, but acting in this what we call ad hoc, sort of an isolated system, or that, maybe even connected. But in this case, I've got a project in here. I've got these little database icons in that. So I'm just going to see if I can quickly show in files. There we are. So what do we have? So this is the project that I have open, right? This is, and so QGIS project, much like an MXD in ArcMap and ArcPro APRX, that file, it tracks what data you had loaded, what symbology you gave it, what was the order of the layers. So generically, we could call that like the map file. So lots of products have like a little project file or map file. They track other things, but the main thing, because you're making a map, is what layers are loaded, how they're symbolized, and what order they are in terms of how they're rendered on the screen. What I want to show you is the data we're looking at here, local files. So this is an eSRI file geodatabase. Okay, so if we go down here and look at the ANR key, that's a classic ANR key of a file geodatabase in that. This other file is a OpenGIS Consortium geo package, which is based on the SQLite container. Okay, so I basically copied the data from the file geodatabase into the geo package just for fun in that. And I made, simple map. I didn't load all the layers, but within the browser tool, we can actually go through all our different disk systems. We have a bunch of other stuff that we can connect to, which we'll talk about later in that. But basically, this is me. I can take a look at a file geodatabase, and I can I could add the creek, right? But the big thing there is that I am working with local files. I'm just gonna, it popped up. We'll make the creek blue, I guess. Do we have any nice blue? That'll be okay for now, and that sort of thing, right? So that now the creek is blue in that. But the idea here is that I'm in like ad hoc mode, and I am working with files that just I have. So if we're thinking about those file sharing levels, I'm at ad hoc. Say I put this on my Z drive and that, maybe I can make that look like what we call connected, right? Everyone's putting their files on network share. Everyone has access to it. So our level of data sharing goes up, but it's still kind of file-based, right? So the file geodatabase from eSRI is a directory with a bunch of files in it. A geo package is an SQLite single file container. It's file-based. And you're saving stuff in your C drive, your D drive, your Z drive, or something like that. But it's all file-based, like shape files, geo packages, file geodatabase in that. So it's just this is a way that we could use QGIS in that. And if I open up the geo package, right? So logically, they're spatial containers with many layers, and depending on the geometry type, they get a little different icon in that. And so this POI layer, point of interest, right, is, I can zoom to that maybe, right? That is my office, close to it roughly in that hallway somewhere in that. And so this is a classic GIS desktop tool, identifies those types of things in that. But what we're getting at here is, well, this is QGIS acting like a desktop in what we could say is definitely ad hoc mode. It's me on my F drive. So what is it? It is. Technically, it is my F drive, which is my external SSD drive that I have hooked to my laptop. Now, if I put these files, like I said, on the Z drive or the I and J drive that we use at school, then that increases my level of sharing. That's what that's what's called connected in that. And so with QGIS as a desktop tool, like we're doing here, working with files, we can get to those two sharing levels, ad hoc, connected. So I just wanted to demo that real quickly, right? And I was surprised that, when I first found out that it can read file geodatabases directly. I don't believe it can edit them, but it can definitely read and write geo packages, no problem. Okay, that's all for now.